Well folks, welcome back to the workshop to another box of broken power tools. This is actually a box of broken grinders. Done these before, but we're going to do another one. Now, this here is actually part of a longer video I'm doing, but 4 extra machines in a long video was just going to take too much time, so I'm just doing this here in a separate video. Wee video on its own. So this here is going to be a video about 4 grinders can fix. Let's see if we can fix these here things up. Questions, what have we got? An old, no, not a Hitachi, it's actually a Hikoki. Looks old, but it's not that old. With a very long lead. So 1 Hikoki and 3 Bosch grinders. So 3, they look like all GWS 7/115 grinders. 2 110s and 1 240 with a 16 amp plug. So let's see if we can get these here things fixed up. We'll start with the first one. Now this one is a Hikoki, don't know the model of it. It's probably something like a G12STX or something like that there. I can't remember the exact model of it. It's a G12 something anyway, Hikoki. And it's got a very, very long lead on it. Must be about a 5 or 6 meter lead on this thing. For a start, that's very free. Could just be brushes in this actually. Well, she's not starting anyway, that's a good start. Definitely brushes because there's none on her. Armature looks okay too. And whoever wired the lead did a good job. Well, apart from there. A bit long. The sheath's been removed a bit much, but still good enough. It's wrapped around neat enough anyway. Not correctly. It's meant to actually go the whole way around, but if it works, it works. It's neat enough that it's not going to get in the way. Set of brushes for this one. So 1 set of Hikoki brushes. These are the 999/067 brushes. They cost just over a tenner. So this model is actually the G12STX. That's the ones for these brushes anyway. And it's actually a very cheap wee grinder. Not cheap in quality, cheap in price just. You can pick these up for a while low money. But the quality of them is actually surprisingly good. The only downside of them is price of repairs. Because the grinder's so cheap. Where does that go to? There. Because the grinder's so cheap to buy, it means it's sometimes not even worth fixing. If a lead, plug and brushes went in this here, that's nearly just as cheap, just to replace the grinder. They're a very cheap grinder to buy, but they actually are a decent wee machine. You get these kits sometime with a 9 and a 4.5 inch grinder. Sometimes there's little, as one of the other main brand ones. You're basically getting a free grinder out of it. And for the amount of work these things do, you really couldn't complain too much about them. Cheap in price, but not too cheap in quality. Just make sure that ain't going to get snagged. And I'm also going to change this grommet because that there's snapped. I have to go down through the whole lead to take this off because I'd rather just take the plug apart than unwire this thing. It's easier to unwire this end than it is the machine itself. I could even put a wee cable clamp on here or a cable tie on it. It's just so the plug doesn't get pulled out. No real need for that as long as you actually use the grommet, the clamp on the end properly. So we need one of these here. That old one was as hard. You really think that was solid plastic instead of rubber. That's what the new one should be like. So I'll also just put on some bootless ferrules and that as well, just to tidy it up. I'll run this all the way back. Cable's that long, I don't even have to put it down and walk around the whole shop with it on my hand. Stretches the whole way across. Oh, you dirty wee bugger, you. Not essential, but to finish things off nice. The cable tie on this was just to stop the lead from getting yanked out, somebody pulling on it the wrong way. There's a clamp on the bottom of the plug. If you tighten it up right, it grabs the cable and does the same job. Go on, would you? Tighten that up, that comes down, clamps the cable, holds it in place. That's it. That's the first Hikoki. More problems. The lead is a little bit damaged, so instead of putting on a whole new lead, I'm actually just going to cut it and reattach, because this just would not be worth putting a whole new lead on as well. I'm just going to do this the right way. One around here and one around here. Right, we'll be a bit luckier the second time maybe. It's not like there's not much length in the lead. You have to worry about making it shorter. Much better. That's her. That's the first one. Just a set of brushes and the lead shortened on a Hikoki 4.5-inch grinder, the G12STX, with a massive long lead on it. Where are these boys going with this thing? Looks like they need a cordless machine instead of a corded one. Now, the rest are all the normal Bosch GWS 7/115s. There's a different lead fitted to this one as well. It's a big heavy duty one. It must be a 1.5mm cable in this. Because it's so thick, there's no grommet. Again, nothing. So it could either be a lead or brushes. We'll just check both. Now these things are clearly getting a lot of work. And have been worked on before. So that's a different screw. Could be brushes, just. They're fairly low. Yeah. Worn out brushes. Now yes, this thing is fairly dirty, but they're a grinder coming from a steel fabricator. They're going to be dirty. You'd like to clean it down, but you can't go cleaning the machine down and charging the customer extra money when all that's wrong with it is a set of brushes. So change the brushes first, see if it works. We only need to do more to it if we have to. You'd like to just strip it down and clean it all out, get rid of all the dirt, but it just doesn't work that way. Not when money's involved. At the end of the day, cleaning this thing ain't going to do anything to it. And it's just going to be just as dirty. And about an hour after it goes back to the customer. As long as there's nothing else wrong with this, new set of brushes will get it running. So we'll just adjust that wire. This is a wee bit long. It's not a problem. It's not so much a dangerous thing. Well, it can sometimes be. Problem is if it's too long, it can sometimes tuck back here. Look. He's sort of got it jammed on, but sometimes if it gets down here, this is your plunger, this is your switch, but it's just a bar coming down to hit your switch down in here. But if that wire gets underneath it, it can jam and jam this lever and not let the switch go off, so it can keep the lever up in the on position. It's unlikely to happen, but just in case, we'll just put it right. So all you want to do is just, when this wire is installed, pull it up and just nip at the size. That again, just fully in. And the problem with the heavier cable, because it's that heavy, it's hard to get them in, because it actually goes under this little bridge here. just leaves it right. So I can't get over there. Not a big deal, but might as well just do it while we're at it now. And that should be it. Nice quick fix. Simple. That is the most common repair for these here Bosch grinders. They're a nice thick heavy brush, but they're not very long, so you eventually have to change them. Not wild soon, but it's kind of handy changing them a little bit earlier, because if you're doing it yourself or setting them for repair, you're basically check out the rest of the machine, so when you're on and you have it out, you can actually give it a wee feel to see if there's any bearings, anything needed as well. But that one there, that's fine. And again, this next one has again got a big long lead on it. This is actually a 240 volt machine, and they have a 16 amp 240 volt plug fitted. Not a big deal, I just need a wee adapter. That one feels a wee bit rougher there. So I just need this boyo to plug it on. I don't actually have one of these sockets in the workshop. I can just take more current basically. So these here are 13 amp plugs, 240 volt. These blue ones are more industrial. These are a 16 amp. So there's no actual fuse in these ones. These ones do. But you get these here fitted with these plugs. These are just for convenience where they're using it. You can easily fit them to use this machine. Same voltage, so no difference. So I can just run it off this anyway. This head on upside down too. I don't know if this one will be fixed. I don't know if somebody left-handed was maybe using this or what. Nah, I don't know why somebody would have it like that. Oh, there's another big problem. Smash that, but I think this motor's gone anyway. Yeah, definitely. Don't even need to take this apart to know that. All the windings are gone. That there's all the resin off the actual armature. So the armature's gone. This lock pin's gone because they've tried to run it with this still gone. They've broken this aluminium head as well. So it needs a head, it needs bearings, it needs armature. It's going to need a set of brushes now as well. That is just getting too expensive. If it was still fairly fresh and you wanted to, you could fix it. Or if you're at home, you might get away for fairly cheap. But this thing's done plenty of work already. And it's probably just about worn out, as you can see. It'll be more cost effective to just replace than to repair. They're not a bad wee grinder, and they're not a bad price, but they have went up in price. So whenever these, years ago, whenever I was doing this, you could buy these here for about 75, 80 euro. I think these are up over 100 euro now to buy. They're still a good enough grinder, still worth that kind of money. It's just the price to buy just makes a lot of the repairs a wee bit more worth it. But when they've seen this amount of work, it's not really worth it. This lead's all kinked up as well. Don't understand how anybody can use a machine that badly kinked up with a lead. It's just all twisted. Untwist it and it'll actually lay out flat. I'll not damage it because it's still nothing wrong with that lead. easily fit it onto another machine. So that's the first one, not fixed. And the last one is another 110 volt. So this is in a bit better condition. It's fresher looking anyway. Fresher looking but not fresh. 2017. If that's 2017, imagine how old the other ones are. And again, dead. Looks like this is again just a set of brushes. This is going to be a very easy repair video. Just pull these out and see what she turns like. That's the one that popped. Bearings sound good. Obviously somebody's already changed the lead, so we don't need to change that. Might only be a yellow one, but it's still a lead and it still works. Too panicky. Now, is that it? That's her. It was actually a very easy box of tricks. 3 grinders, all 4.5 inch, 1 Hikoki, 3 Bosch, 3 of them fixed, 1 not fixed. Didn't even have to strap in on them apart. That's that wee box of stuff done. Anyway, that's that wee box of stuff. Anyway, that's that wee quick box of stuff. Thanks for watching, folks. I know there's only a quick one, but you can't really choose what goes onto the box. Just have to fix them as they come. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching. As always, if you're liking the videos, folks, make sure to give us a wee like and a follow down below. And I'll chat to you again the next time. Cheers.